So thank you for meeting with me today.
Absolutely.
We're talking about just kind of our general infrastructure and IT in the school and kind of your thoughts and goals and vision for how it would work at our K-8 school. So how can you describe our current network infrastructure? Like, what do we got going on?
So we have Wi-Fi ports in classrooms that are wired in through the ceiling. That's managed by district. A lot of it's managed by district office. But we have an IT person on campus that comes. We are sharing him with another campus, so he comes. I'd say 2 to 3 times a week, depending on our needs. And students all have one-to-one devices, and so they've really done a lot of work over the past, I'd say 2 years or so, with making sure we have enough bandwidth for students to all be on their devices all at the same time should it be necessary.
Okay. And how well does that support our current students and our current load on it?
I would say most of the time very, very well. We have run into issues occasionally with outages in the area, and so then we're part of the area. It's not like we're just a completely closed system, so sometimes we run into that. But then we also run into during state testing, when we have all of our campuses testing on same days, that also has been an issue. But like I said, lots of work's been done in the last couple of years.
I was gonna say, we didn't have any problems this year, even far out there. I didn't have really any outages this year.
It's gotten much better.
Yeah. What systems are in place to manage and monitor student devices?
So again, through the district, there are things that are state mandated that we eliminate and block. So certain sites and things are blocked high level. Here on campus, we have the ability as administrators or as teachers to access student computers whenever we need to. We can use their password and get their username and look at their history. That does not delete, so we also have that as well.
Sounds good. What are the most common tech issues that we encounter with students?
Misuse is the most common. So students looking at things that they're not supposed to, or using the capabilities Google's great because you get to share and collaborate, but using that to collaborate about things that are probably not school appropriate. We see that. In recent times, we've had the damage to the Chromebooks because it's a social media trend, so students are using those trends to influence their behavior, which is not so fun.
No, I don't get that. How do we typically resolve that?
So depending on the infraction, right? So just like any kind of discipline thing, we look at, student history, all of those things, but we remove the technology from students. Sometimes that's permanently, sometimes it's just for a period of time. Reteach those expectations, contact parents.
Okay. How do you collaborate with the teachers and other admin in the building to ensure that technology is supporting student learning?
So we look at professional development Mondays when we're all together. We kind of talk about that. We use our instructional coach to also help teachers with latest and greatest tools that they can use to help facilitate learning and keep it, instructionally focused. And then we just encourage teachers to monitor and only use it when appropriate in their classroom so that they're not overusing it. When students have free reign, sometimes it gets them off topic.
Sounds good. So what's your vision for the role of IT in supporting technology enhancement?
So I don't know that I have a vision for like an IT department, but for instructional technology, I really think the way that we're moving is we have AI, we have all these tools, and we have really great resources to get facts and information at the push of a button. And so I think as educators, we really need to harness that and really focus on the thinking and reasoning skills that students need to take that factual information and create a product or develop some sort of, thing. I don't know whether it's a writing or, create with it instead of focusing on rote memorization. We can use those programs that they have to help students engage with the learning because a lot of them are game-based and it gives immediate feedback and those type of things. So those are all really great, but I don't know, just for as far as an IT department, I hope that they help out when we need it.
You guys would kind of just take it to that next level of applying what we're learning
Exactly.
into that creation phase.
Yeah.
How do you stay updated on tools of infrastructure or improvements to support learning effect?
So it may sound really bad, but social media, there's a lot of people who are doing some really amazing things in the classroom with technology, and I follow them and see the things, and then I'm like, oh, and I can try them out and then pass them on to teachers and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
We learn about it at district too. Like they'll come up and say, hey, we have this program, this is what it does. They give us district trainings. Same thing with your instructional coaches.
Yeah, we've definitely. Well, when I've talked about how we've seen stuff on TikTok that we were like, we could do that.
Yeah, it seems like it'd work, right?
Yeah, there's some good stuff out there. What would you consider the biggest obstacle to expanding or improving student access to devices?
Funds, I would say. Just making sure, because like we have a limited number of funds, and then when our devices get destroyed, then they're not really replaced with the funds that we have. So it's always about funding.
What would the ideal device for students be to use at our school?
I like the Chromebooks. I think that they serve a great purpose. I know other districts like use iPads and those type of things, but I think Chromebooks used sparingly is probably the best option.
Do you think Chromebooks are best for all? Because K through 8, there's a lot of different needs.
There are.
Like
I mean, maybe in your
different-
younger ones having like an iPad where it's more just touch screen focused. But I don't know.
Okay.
And where they don't have to type as much, because like our little kinder babies, they're not typing, so
Right.
that.
Oh, getting them logged into things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's a
like
good
teachers
thought.
make a great.
Mm-hmm.
What would you change about technology use or access here if you were able?
Not so much the access. I think our access is okay. I would like to see a program on teacher computers where they can monitor student screens from their device. I think that would help cut down on some of that, like I said, collaboration about the wrong things. And then what was the other part of that question? Sorry, I lost it in my.
Just what would you change about use and access if you were able to?
Use, I would also like to see us limit it a little bit more. I think that sometimes we have too much screen time for students, and we're losing the connection with like face-to-face and those social skills, and then also retention of material, because they're tabs here and tabs here, and we're tabbing and we're moving, and we're not necessarily completely engaged in the activity that we're doing. So just more, I don't know, appropriate use of technology, specified, intentional maybe is a better word.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I know, for me, I feel like it's a big difference between just writing down the numbers as opposed to typing it.
Yeah.
Like it just engages the brain differently.
It does.
So, cool. Well, those are my questions.
Awesome.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, anytime.